Alex, go ahead. I'll come to you next, Jane.
Clarify about what you know. Kyiv has been under attack, missiles, drones for weeks or months, and recently, last week. So what new do you know?
What do you mean, what new do I know?
What
What
new
is-
that is
what is the-
triggering you to take further steps?
I'm sorry?
What's different than Kyiv, what Kyiv has been seeing last week?
So as you heard me say in response to Matt's question and in response to Daphne's question, we receive and look at security information from a number of sources and look at potential threats from a number of sources. We obviously don't disclose those publicly, not productive for us to do so. We had specific information that led to us to make this decision, but I'm not going to get into disclosing that here for obvious security reasons. But and I don't think this should be a controversial statement. We have no higher priority than the protection of the Americans who work in our embassy, and we are going to continue to put their safety first.
And it appears other embassies in Kyiv, Italy, Greek, and Spain, Spanish embassies also are not operating today. Is there any coordinated effort?
I will let those embassies speak to their operations.
And what about American citizens living in Kyiv? Do you have any call on them?
We have Kyiv is a do not travel area for American citizens. We have long said that American citizens should not travel to Kyiv. That advice has not changed.
Thank you. Please come back to me later on South Caucasus.
Okay.
Can I just follow up on the use of UK supplied Storm Shadow missiles?
Sure.
Is Ukraine discussing or consulting or informing the US of use of missiles provided by the UK or the US?
So we consult with the Ukrainian government, the Ukrainian military, about a broad range of tactics that they can use to defend themselves, but I'm not going to speak publicly to the use of another country's weapons, not U.S. provided weapons. I will defer to the governments of Ukraine and the UK to speak to that.
Sorry, just to follow up on that, there are also reports that the US is thought to have provided navigational information for the use of those missiles. Can you confirm that?
I'm not going to speak to that at all.
Can you give us a readout of John Bass's meeting with the Ukrainian foreign minister yesterday? Who called for this meeting? What was the purpose?
The Ukrainian foreign minister was in town, as you know, so the secretary saw the Ukrainian foreign minister last week when he was in Brussels, had a conversation with him about what we are prepared to do to ensure that Ukraine is positioned for success on the battlefield in 2025, how we can continue to support them, updated him on some very concrete steps that we are taking. And I think I'll leave it at that. The Ukrainian foreign minister was then in town yesterday. The secretary was not here. As you know, he was traveling back from the G20 in Rio. So John Bass took that meeting. But it was to continue those discussions about how we can support Ukraine militarily and how we can support them diplomatically.
Can I switch to the Middle East?
Sure.
Can we just say I want Ukraine for one thing? Are you aware of this?
No,
notice?
you can't. I was saying